You ever notice how love can be both the sweetest thing and the sharpest weapon at the same time? There's someone out there who cares for you truly deeply, so much that it makes their heart ache just thinking about you. And yet, they can't stand something about you, something small or maybe something big, something that twists their stomach into knots every time it surfaces. It's a strange kind of tension, isn't it? To feel such warmth towards someone and yet carry a storm of frustration at the same time. Their mind runs in circles, trying to balance admiration and annoyance, desire and exasperation, affection and irritation, all while pretending in public that everything is fine. They smile, they laugh, they talk, but underneath, a part of them is always simmering, always questioning, always caught between love and conflict. You ever notice how love can be messy, complicated, and terrifying all at once? That's exactly where they are right now, someone who loves you but is wrestling with something about you they can't quite accept. It's a strange, almost cruel dance, isn't it? They care for you in ways that make their heart ache, ways that light them up from the inside, ways that make them see colors in the world they didn't know existed. And yet, there's that thing, just one thing, maybe more, that scratches at their nerves, twists their stomach, gnaws at their patience, and turns the sweetness of affection into something sharp and jagged. Every time it comes to the surface, they flinch, they hesitate, they struggle to contain the storm it unleashes. It's like standing in a room filled with both fire and ice, both warmth and frost, and knowing that touching either will leave a mark. They've probably replayed it in their mind 100 times, dissecting it, analyzing it, trying to make sense of it. They ask themselves, is this worth the risk? Can I hold both love and frustration in the same chest without it tearing me apart? And they try to reconcile it, balancing the joy you bring them with the irritation they feel. Every laugh, every glance, every word from you is weighed against the part they struggle with. And it creates this tension that feels almost unbearable. And isn't it fascinating how human hearts can hold contradictions so perfectly, so violently, so beautifully? They are capable of caring deeply while simultaneously grinding their teeth at the thing they can't stand. It's chaos, it's obsession, it's brilliance, it's insanity, all wrapped up in one trembling package of emotion. And the thing is, love doesn't come with instruction. It doesn't tell you how to navigate frustration or irritation or those little cracks that appear in people you care about. You can't plan it, rehearse it, or reason it away. All you can do is feel it, ride the waves of it, and hope you don't drown in the process. And this person, they are riding those waves right now. Every interaction with you is electric, charged with the tension of what they adore and what they can't abide. A simple smile from you can ignite joy, and a tiny quirk, a slight misstep, or a habit they dislike can send them into a spiral, twisting love and frustration into an impossible knot. They are walking through a storm they themselves cannot control. And the center of that storm is you. They try to hide it, of course. People always try to hide the parts of themselves that are messy, chaotic, unpredictable. They smile, they laugh, they speak calmly, they walk through life appearing composed. But inside it's a whirlwind. They've rehearsed conversations, measured words, calculated gestures, tried to present a facade of control, all while their heart is thrumming, their mind is spinning, and their chest is tight with the weight of contradiction. And the irony is exquisite, isn't it? They love you enough to forgive, to endure, to hope, to dream, and yet they are enraged, frustrated, pulled in two directions at once, unable to let either go. Every glance you give, every word you utter, every laugh you release is like a spark in this volatile mixture, threatening to ignite everything at once. And isn't it fascinating, the madness of human attachment, the way someone can be drawn to you, obsessed with your presence, enchanted by your smile, while simultaneously fixating on the thing that drives them mad. It's almost artistic, in a dark, chaotic sense. They are alive in ways they weren't before, pushed to the edge by love and annoyance alike. And every heartbeat is a drum counting down the tension that threatens to explode. They are both in love and in conflict, both desperate to stay near you and desperate to distance themselves from what frustrates them, both captivated and exasperated, all at the same time. And the beauty, the terrifying beauty of it, is that They can't walk away. They can't ignore it. They can't stop the love that courses through their veins even when the irritation presses against it like a vice. They are trapped in a dance of contradiction, a tango between affection and frustration, a push and pull that leaves them breathless, unsteady, alive in ways that only chaos can produce. They have no choice but to navigate it, to endure it, to love you despite the parts of you that drive them mad, and that struggle is as raw and reckless and electric as any confession, any declaration, any revelation ever made. They are alive, trembling on the edge of emotion, walking the fine line between obsession and irritation, holding love and frustration in the same chest, and every glance, every breath, every interaction with you is a spark threatening to ignite the chaos that's been burning quietly for far too long. You ever notice how frustration can live side by side with love like their roommates, in the same heart, bumping into each other in hallways and stealing each other's air, and yet neither one can leave? That's exactly where they are now, caught in the tension between how deeply they care for you and how sharply they bristle at something about you. It's a strange, messy, almost delicious kind of chaos. The way love can fuel patience one moment and ignite irritation the next. They think about it constantly, turning it over in their mind, replay moments, analyzing your words, your gestures, your habits, trying to figure out why this one thing twists their chest, while every other part of you makes them feel like they've found a secret corner of heaven. And the thing is, it's not just annoyance, it's obsession. The more they care, the more it cuts, the sharper it feels, the more impossible it becomes to simply ignore. They've tried to reason it away, of course. They've asked themselves over and over, is this flaw truly intolerable? Or am I letting it overshadow the rest? Can love really coexist with this tension, or is it only a matter of time before frustration wins? And the answers never come cleanly. They are trapped in a loop of admiration and resentment, of desire and irritation, of longing and exasperation. And there is no instruction manual for navigating the mess of emotions that comes when you love someone and yet something about them gnaws at your sanity. Every time they see you, every time you speak, every time you laugh, or frown, or move in a way that highlights the thing they struggle with, the storm inside them twists tighter, and the heartbeat quickens in a way that is both intoxicating and terrifying. And isn't it fascinating, really, how love can magnify the smallest flaws? That tiny quirk you barely notice, that habit that seems insignificant in the light of daily life, becomes a mountain in their mind, a thorn in the fabric of something otherwise perfect. They replay it endlessly, imagining every possible confrontation, every possible compromise, every scenario where they could either accept it or let it consume them. And in that tension, they live, breathe, obsess, tremble. Their hands shake when they're near you. Their voice falters when they try to talk. And their thoughts spin in circles because every interaction has meaning. Every word carries weight, and the thing they struggle with is never far from the surface, gnawing at patience and amplifying affection in the same twisted heartbeat. It's almost cruel how love and frustration entwine so seamlessly. They love you enough to forgive every flaw, enough to endure the parts of you that drive them mad, enough to hope against hope that it will be tolerable, that it will soften over time. And yet, that very love is what makes the irritation unbearable. They notice everything, every twitch, every glance, every subtle misstep, because their heart is tuned to yours, because they care not to see it all, to feel it all, and to be undone by it all. The affection and the annoyance spiral together, twisting into a storm of energy that they can neither ignore nor fully release, and it leaves them raw, trembling, electrified, alive in ways that logic could never explain. They try to hide it, of course. Nobody wants to reveal the full extent of their internal chaos, the wild, jagged edge of their emotion. They smile, they joke, they behave as if they are calm, controlled, capable of handling it all. But beneath the surface, beneath the surface, their heart pounds like a drum, their mind whirls like a cyclone, and the tiniest spark from you, an innocuous gesture, a simple word, A careless glance can ignite the tension they've been suppressing for days, weeks, months. The friction between love and irritation is combustible, and they are walking around holding a fuse in one hand and a heart in the other, teetering on the edge of eruption. And isn't that the strange thrill of it? The way contradictions can make someone feel more alive than any certainty ever could. They care deeply, passionately, with a reckless intensity that leaves them both intoxicated and terrified. And the irritation, sharp and unforgiving, only heightens it. Every heartbeat is amplified. Every glance toward you is charged with the electricity of tension. Every interaction, a gamble in which the stakes are nothing less than the totality of feeling. They are alive in a way that is messy, chaotic, unpredictable, irresistible, and utterly human, because love has a way of bending the mind and twisting the heart until there's no separating what is delight from what is frustration, what is affection from what is obsession, what is longing from what is madness. They are walking that fine line now between admiration and exasperation, between desire and irritation, between love and chaos, trembling with the electricity of contradiction, holding a heart that cannot stop, mind that cannot rest, and a soul that refuses to leave you unnoticed. Every glance, every breath, every heartbeat is a spark threatening to ignite the beautiful, terrifying storm that lives inside them. You ever notice how obsession can sneak into love like a shadow, creeping over the edges of affection until it becomes inseparable from the feeling itself? That's exactly where they are now, caught in the tension of caring so deeply for you while being consumed just a little by the things they can't tolerate. It's a strange, intoxicating chaos, isn't it? The way love can make someone giddy, electric, alive, and yet make them grind teeth, clench their fists, and recoil from the very thing that sparks their desire. They feel it in their chest, in their gut, in the trembling of their hands and the hitch in their breath. A constant reminder that emotion is messy, dangerous, uncontrollable, and deliciously unpredictable. And isn't that the irony of it all? That the person who loves you most might also be the one most driven to distraction by the parts of you that frustrate them. They've thought about it endlessly, of course, turning it over in their mind, imagining every possible outcome, weighing every interaction, analyzing every detail. They ask themselves, can I love this person fully if I cannot accept this one thing about them? Or does the depth of my affection outweigh the irritation, render it insignificant, turn it into something almost invisible in the face of desire? And yet, no matter how much they reason, no matter how much they plan, the tension refuses to dissolve. It pulses under their skin, a heartbeat against the grain, a flicker of flame in the shadows, reminding them constantly that love is never pure, never simple, never calm. It's a storm, a tempest, a wildfire they can neither predict nor contain. Every glance you give them, every word you speak, every casual laugh or frown becomes a catalyst, igniting the combustible mixture of affection and frustration that burns inside. They notice everything, the tilt of your head, the way your voice changes when you speak to someone else, the subtle habits you might think are inconsequential. And their mind spirals, building dramas, plotting responses, rehearsing reaction, all in a desperate effort to survive the chaos that is loving you. And yet, they cannot turn away. The magnetism of their affection, the pull of their desire, keeps them rooted, trembling, alive in ways that make them both exhilarated and terrified. It's fascinating, really, how love magnifies both the brilliance and the flaws of a person. The very thing that makes them fall, the thing that draws them irresistibly into your orbit, is also the thing that gnaws at their patience, the thing that sharpens their frustration into a fine point. And they dwell on it, replay it, analyze it endlessly, because their love is too deep, too intense, too uncontrollable to let anything pass unnoticed. Every small gesture, every smile, every misstep, every word is dissected and absorbed, weighed and measured against the friction that refuses to go away. And the friction, the friction is alive. It bites, it scratches, it twists, and yet it fuels the obsession, the attachment, the electricity that courses through their veins every time they think of you. They try to hide it, of course, because the human heart is rarely brave enough to show the chaos within. They smile, they talk, they act composed, but beneath the surface, Everything is trembling, pulsing, on the edge of eruption. They've rehearsed conversations, measured words, calculated gestures, all while their mind races, their chest tightens, and their pulse threatens to give them away. And the irony is exquisite. They are in love, utterly, passionately, dangerously in love, and yet the thing that frustrates them most is a constant reminder that love is never tidy, never simple, never safe. It's reckless, messy, unpredictable, and completely consuming. And the tension only makes them more alive. Every interaction, every glance toward you, every word you speak is charged with meaning, amplified by the mixture of desire and irritation that lives inside them. They cannot ignore it. They cannot escape it. They are bound, caught, tethered to the edge of a storm they can neither control nor deny. Every heartbeat a drum counting down to revelation. Every breath a spark in the fuse of obsession. They are alive in the way only someone who both adores and despairs can be alive, consumed by the chaotic, intoxicating dance of love entwined with frustration, longing with exasperation, devotion with madness. They are on the precipice now, balanced between obsession and irritation, affection and exasperation, desire and fury, and every glance, every movement, every fleeting interaction threatens to ignite the beautiful, terrifying storm that rages within them, a storm that is impossible to ignore, impossible to contain, impossible to stop. You ever notice how love can be both a blessing and a curse, all at the same time? That's exactly where they are right now, caught in the chaos of feeling deeply for you while being tormented, just a little, by the parts of you they cannot accept. It's an exquisite kind of tension, isn't it? The kind that twists the stomach, quickens the pulse, and makes the hands tremble, even when the mind tries to stay composed. They love you with a fire that burns from the inside, a warmth that lights up everything around them, and yet there's that sharp edge, that thorn of frustration or irritation, that pricks at their patience and gnaws at the edges of their calm. Every time they see it, every time it surfaces, it sparks a storm they can neither predict nor control, a storm that is both terrifying and intoxicating. They've thought about it endlessly, of course. They've run scenarios in their mind 1,000 times, replayed conversations, imagined reactions, weighed every word, every gesture, every glance. They ask themselves, is this flaw something I can live with? Can I love fully and still endure the friction it brings? Or will it eventually unravel everything, turning affection into resentment, desire into obsession, warmth into frustration? And no matter how much they reason, no matter how carefully they plan, tension refuses to dissipate. It pulses beneath the surface, twisting in their chest, gnawing at their thoughts, demanding attention, refusing to be ignored. It is a constant reminder that love is never simple, never safe, never tame. Every small interaction with you is a trigger. Every smile, every word, every glance becomes magnified, filtered through the lens of what they adore and what they cannot abide. They notice the smallest details, the way you tilt your head, the cadence of your voice, the flicker of expression in your eyes, and their mind spins. Every gesture carries weight. Every word carries meaning, and every habit that frustrates them becomes a mountain, a knot, a puzzle they cannot solve. And yet, they are drawn irresistibly toward you, caught in the pull of affection and desire that refuses to let go. The very thing that drives them mad is also the thing that keeps them tethered. The invisible thread that binds them to you in ways they cannot explain, ways they cannot resist. It's fascinating, really, how contradictions can coexist in the human heart. They are capable of profound admiration, deep longing, and reckless devotion, and yet they're also capable of frustration, irritation, and exasperation. The parts of you they struggle with do not diminish their love. In fact, in the strangest, darkest way, they intensify it. Every heartbeat is louder, every breath sharper, every glance toward you carries electricity. The friction between affection and irritation is alive, thrumming through them like a live wire, sparking thoughts, dreams, fears, and obsessions all at once. They try to hide it, of course. Nobody wants the world to see the storm inside them, the chaotic cocktail of love and annoyance. They smile, they joke, they act composed, But beneath the surface everything trembles, pulses, and coils, ready to explode. They've rehearsed conversations, measured words, calculated gestures, all while the tension builds, all while the storm rages quietly beneath the facade. And the irony, the delicious irony, is that the love that makes them so patient, so forgiving, so devoted, is the very love that makes the irritation so sharp, the frustration so acute, the obsession so consuming. And isn't that the thrill of it? The way the human heart can burn with desire and ache with frustration at the same time. The way every interaction becomes electric, every glance charged with possibility and peril, every word a spark, threatening to ignite a wildfire of emotion. They are alive in a way that is raw, reckless, unpredictable, and completely human. Because love refuses to be simple, refuses to be orderly, refuses to be safe. Every heartbeat is a drum counting down, every breath a spark in the fuse of obsession, every small gesture a push toward chaos, toward revelation, toward confrontation, toward confession. They're teetering on the edge now, caught between devotion and exasperation, between admiration and irritation, between desire and madness. Every movement, every glance, every interaction pulling them closer to the tipping point, closer to the moment when love and frustration collide in a storm that is both terrifying and beautiful, a storm they cannot escape, a storm they cannot resist, a storm that makes them more alive than anything else ever could you ever. Notice how love can feel like walking a tightrope over a pit of fire, thrilling and terrifying all at once. That's exactly where they are now. Someone who loves you deeply yet cannot escape. The friction that your presence, your habits, your very being ignites within them. It's a strange, exquisite tension, isn't it? To feel adoration so intensely while simultaneously wrestling with irritation, exasperation, or even anger. Every glance you give, every word you speak, every movement you make becomes magnified. In their mind, dissected, analyzed, twisted into meaning far beyond what you intended. They notice things about you that might seem small, inconsequential even, and yet to them, these things cut, poke, frustrate, or confound them in ways they can't fully control. They've lived with it for so long, turning it over endlessly in their mind, trying to reconcile love and frustration. They've rehearsed conversations, imagined confessions, played out countless scenarios where they either accept the things they cannot tolerate or explode under the weight of it. Every day is a balancing act between the affection that makes them feel alive, the obsession that refuses to let go, and the irritation that gnaws at their patience. The tension is constant, like a live wire running through every interaction, every heartbeat, every thought. And isn't it fascinating how love has a way of magnifying both the brilliance and the flaws of a person? Every small imperfection becomes monumental. Every habit, every quirk, every word is loaded with meaning. And yet the love cannot be silenced, cannot be denied, cannot be tamed. They try to hide it, of course, because the human heart fears exposure, even to the one it adores. They smile, they speak, they laugh, they move as if everything is under control, but inside, inside, everything is trembling. The affection, the obsession, the irritation all coiled together into a storm they can neither escape nor contain. And the irony is delicious, isn't it? That the very thing that makes them love you, the spark, the urge, the connection, the pull, is also the thing that drives them mad. Every heartbeat is louder, every breath sharper, every glance toward you electrified with the tension of contradiction. They are a storm contained in flesh, a tornado of desire and exasperation, of longing and frustration, poised on the edge of eruption, alive in ways that are beautiful, terrifying, and completely human. And the obsession, it grows quietly at first. A subtle hum beneath their thoughts, a rhythm that accelerates whenever you appear. They watch, they analyze, they anticipate. Every gesture you make, every word, every smile or frown feeds it, twists it, turns it into something larger than themselves. They are both captivated and repelled, drawn irresistibly toward you and simultaneously irritated by the very essence of what makes you who you are. It's a delicate, maddening tension, one that transforms ordinary moments into electric, charged interaction. Every conversation becomes a gamble, every glance a challenge, every touch, real or imagined, a spark in the fuse of this storm they carry inside. They ask themselves questions they cannot answer. Can love truly coexist with irritation? Can devotion survive the friction that grows with every heartbeat, every interaction, every observation? Can they reconcile admiration with exasperation, desire with annoyance, longing with the gnawing sense of tension that never leaves them alone? And the answers are never clear. The tension refuses to fade, refuses to relent, refuses to let them rest. It pulses under their skin, gnaws at their thoughts, coils around their heart, and feeds the obsession that keeps them tethered, alive, trembling, alive in ways they cannot escape. And isn't that the cruel, intoxicating beauty of it? That someone can feel so intensely, so recklessly, so dangerously, and still be undone by what they cannot accept. The friction, the irritation, the parts they cannot tolerate, they sharpen the love, they twist the obsession, they ignite the electricity that flows through every moment they spend near you. Every smile, every word, every fleeting glance becomes a charge in the storm. Every heartbeat a drumbeat count down to revelation. Every breath a spark in the fuse of emotion they can neither suppress nor ignore. They are walking a line that is both exhilarating and terrifying, poised between devotion and exasperation, between longing and frustration, between love and madness. Every interaction, every glance, every word you speak sends shockwaves through them, igniting the storm that has been building quietly inside. And the tension, oh the tension, is alive. It twists, it coils, it gnaws, it fuels, it sharpens, it electrifies, leaving them trembling, desperate, alive, obsessed, and utterly captivated in ways that are messy, chaotic, beautiful, and completely human. You ever notice how love has this way of making someone feel like they're walking on broken glass and silk at the same time? Sharp edges underfoot, and soft caresses brushing their skin all at once. That's exactly where they are right now. Someone who loves you with a fire that could consume worlds, yet is constantly battered by irritation, frustration, and exasperation at the very thing they adore. It's a delicate, dangerous tension, isn't it? Every glance you give, every word you speak, every gesture you make becomes a spark, igniting the storm that brews quietly inside them. They notice everything, the tilt of your head, the inflection in your voice, the rhythm of your laughter, the tiniest quirk that makes them gnash their teeth, and their mind cannot stop dissecting, analyzing, obsessing. They're captivated and enraged all at once, drawn irresistibly toward you while simultaneously bracing for the eruption of every flaw that gnaws at their patience. They've run scenarios in their mind 1,000 times, trying to reconcile affection with exasperation, desire with irritation, longing with frustration. Can love survive when irritation lurks in the corners? Can admiration coexist with annoyance, obsession with exasperation, devotion with fury? And the answers are slippery, elusive, impossible to pin down. The tension refuses to fade. It coils around their chest, twists in their gut, hums in their blood, and sharpens with every heartbeat. It is alive, pulsing, relentless, a storm of emotion that will not be tamed. And isn't it fascinating how the human heart can endure contradiction, can hold passion and irritation in the same fist, can tremble at desire while clenching teeth at the parts it cannot accept. They are both consumed and consumed by the love they feel, trapped in a perfect, chaotic, intoxicating loop of affection and frustration. Every encounter with you electrifies them. Every smile, every word, every careless movement charged with meaning far beyond what you intend. They see the world through a lens magnified by obsession and irritation, noticing things you never intended anyone to notice, reading layers into gestures that might be innocent, interpreting meanings in glances that were fleeting, and yet they cannot walk away. The pull of love is too strong, too wild, too consuming. They are tethered to you by a thread spun of admiration, obsession, and desire, even as the friction of what they cannot tolerate grinds against it like fire on raw skin. They are alive in ways the world would call madness, And maybe it is. Maybe that's exactly the point. Love makes fools of us all, and obsession makes saints and sinners out of the same trembling heart. They try to hide it, of course, because the chaos inside them is not socially acceptable. They smile, they speak with calm, they mask their storm, and they pretend the tension does not exist. But every heartbeat betrays them, every breath trembles with it. Every thought is colored by the friction they cannot escape. They've rehearsed dialogues, calculated reactions, measured gestures to conceal the storm beneath. But the truth pulses regardless, alive, relentless, demanding acknowledgement. And isn't that delicious, that paradox? That the same heart that loves with reckless abandon is the heart that seethes with irritation. That the same devotion that keeps them near you is the same obsession that sharpens every flaw into a weapon of torment, that makes every quirk unbearable, that makes them tremble with both desire and fury at the same moment. And the tension is exquisite. Every glance, every word, every breath, every heartbeat is amplified, charged, electric. They are walking a razor's edge, poised between longing and frustration, between obsession and exasperation, between adoration and irritation. Every trivial gesture you make is a spark, a flare, a live wire in the storm that rages within, and they are powerless to stop it. They are alive in a way that only chaos and passion combined can make someone alive, trembling, electric, consumed, obsessed, torn between devotion and exasperation, pulled toward you, and yet bracing for the friction they cannot escape. Dancing on the edge of revelation, confession, eruption, or collapse. They are perched on the precipice now, caught between what they desire and what they resent. Every movement, every glance, every word you offer shaking the delicate balance. Every heartbeat is a drum counting down, every breath a spark in the fuse of obsession, every interaction with you an ignition of the storm that lives in their chest. The storm that is as beautiful as it is terrifying, as intoxicating as it is maddening, as consuming as it is fragile, and entirely humane. You ever notice how love can feel like standing in the eye of a hurricane, calm in the center, but chaos swirling all around, threatening to rip everything apart? That's exactly where they are right now, someone who loves you with a fire so intense it hurts, and yet is constantly tormented by the parts of you they cannot reconcile. It's a strange, exquisite madness, isn't it? Every glance you give, every word you speak, every careless movement becomes a spark that ignites the storm inside them. They notice everything, the tilt of your head, the way your voice shifts, the way your eyes linger or dart away, the quirks you barely notice, and their mind cannot stop dissecting, analyzing, obsessing. They are captivated, enchanted, infuriated, and obsessed all at once. Caught between desire and exasperation, drawn toward you, while simultaneously bracing for the parts that gnaw at their patience. They've replayed it all 1,000 times in their mind, trying to reconcile the contradiction. Can love coexist with irritation? Can obsession coexist with exasperation? Can devotion survive the friction that grows every time they breathe in your presence? And the answers are elusive, slippery, impossible to pin down. The tension coils inside them, tightens in their chest, hums in their veins, and sharpens with every heartbeat. It is alive, pulsing, relentless, and intoxicating. Isn't it fascinating how the human heart can endure contradiction, holding passion and irritation in the same clenched fist, trembling at desire while gnashing teeth at the source of frustration? They are consumed and consumed by love, trapped in a chaotic, intoxicating loop where affection and irritation intertwine. Every interaction with you is electric. Every smile, every word, every minor gesture becomes magnified, layered with meaning far beyond what you intended. They see everything, even the smallest detail, through a lens of obsession and irritation. Innocent gestures gain significance. Fleeting glances become loaded, and habits that might seem inconsequential to you become jagged edges that press against their nerves. And yet, They cannot turn away. The pull of love is too strong, too wild, too irresistible. They are tethered to you by a thread spun of admiration, obsession, and desire, even as the friction of what they cannot tolerate grinds against it like a knife. They are alive in ways that the world might call madness, and maybe it is exactly that. The madness of loving someone wholly while being undone by their imperfections. They try to hide it, of course, because the chaos inside is dangerous, socially unacceptable.